Hello everyone, my name is Litter24 and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. And finally, Shadowspear has been revealed. We know what's coming in the box, so there's no more guesswork anymore, guys. And finally an end to the demonic rumor engine. And I think everyone's kind of happy at that because it was getting a little bit silly. I think one of the latest ones, or one of the ones after I started... last video released last week, there was like an image of a gun barrel, and at that point I was like, oh really, come on GW, it's a gun barrel. I can walk into any Games Workshop anywhere, spin around in the spot and point, and I've got a very good chance of hitting something with a gun barrel. But that's over now. We've got images of everything that's coming in the box, and it all looks pretty good. Every single thing in the box looks crisp, looks new, and it's got its own unique things going for it, and I'm just going to have a quick look at them right now. My friends were looking at the box when it first, when the pictures first dropped, saying that they couldn't see Abaddon. I was like, explaining to guys, Abaddon the spoiler is not going to be in a box set with other things. He's going to be on his own. He's a main event sort of thing, and we've still got time left and Harkin's old countdown doomsday clock. So I'm guessing when 0 hour comes, that's when Abaddon will be making his appearance. And I'm interested to see what he's going to be looking like. The updated sculpt is going to be the cause of much, I want to say speculation, what's the word I'm looking for? Debate online. Because, I don't know, it's just, I don't think it's going to be universally loved. And the reason I'm saying that is, I've got a feeling they want to keep him very traditional looking, with his big ponytail and that big ponytail, well, his hair all done up in his like man bun. And I've got a feeling that some people will have built themselves up where no matter what GW released, it's not going to make them happy. Sort of like, what's it now? Sort of like a Half-Life 3 situation in gaming. Like, you've been waiting so long and long and long for this thing to actually happen. The finished product is never going to satisfy the insane standards you've built up in your head. But, hey, we'll see. I'm sure they'll do a good job, and in time will tell. But back to Shadowspear. Right, we finally got a good look at everything that's coming in Shadowspear, and I've got to say, I really do like both sides of this box. I mean, normally I was poo-pooing the Space Marines when we first saw the teaser images back for them a while ago. I said they looked a bit, I think I said looked a bit more like the Angry thing going on, and I put that down to the fact that I'm not really a big Space Marines player. But looking at these other pictures and in detail at some of the sculpts they've got going on, and they do look very interesting as far as models go. But let's have a look at the Chaos Space Marines, because I've always said when this box set drops, it's going to be Chaos that's going to steal the limelight, and I think I'm right here. Like I said, we've seen the Chaos Space Marines before, but we've got a few new images of new sculpts there. We've got the autocannon, so that's the gun teaser trailer there. Pretty teaser picture sussed out right there. And they all look pretty good from the image we've got here. I mean, we've only got the panned out view of all the Chaos Forces in the box, and then we've just got the three Chaos Space Marines we've seen before. But from what I can see of the Chaos Space Marines in the overall cover image, that's not the word I'm looking for, the image with everything in, they do look nice. They do look like they're very well detailed, crisp, and just look really, really good. And I like to think that they will be slightly shorter than Primaris, only because obviously Primaris made a big deal about being, new, better, taller Space Marines, and these guys are still meant to be original Space Marines, but juiced up by the warp. I want them to be bigger sculpts than the old ones, but I want them to be slightly shorter than Space Marines, if that makes any sense. And yeah, they all look pretty damn good. And we can also see the new, I think they're called Greater Possessed Demonkin. I think, no, the whole Chaos Size box set is called Demonkin. But I think these guys are Greater Possessed. And this one here is a bit of a, the one on the left there, that claw hand, I thought that might be a mutilator, but no, obviously not. We can see a number of images here that do relate back to the demonic rumor engine. The feet on one of them, the claw hand, the mouth hand, and a rumor image that goes way, 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 way back. If you guys can cast your mind back that far, the dude on the right there, the guy with the big skull face, his claw hand, his like crustacean claw hand. Now I bet that's going to be a bitter pill for a lot of Slaanesh, some Slaanesh players, probably not a lot, to swallow, because when that image first dropped on the Rumour Engine a while ago, people were thinking that Slaanesh was going to get some goodness in the future. Maybe some new Slaanesh type Space Marines, and sadly, it's not to be. It's part of this greater possessed dude. But, like I always say, it's only a matter of time. It's a when, not if situation, when Emperor's Children and World Eaters will get their own codex. So, I'd say don't lose heart. This is a win for all Chaos players, I suppose. So, a step in the right direction. But these guys do, apart from the poses, I'm not madly in love with the poses. They sort of like they're stepping on something really hot. And they're not so much sprinting, more sort of hot footing from one foot to the other, like they're standing on a hot plate. But that might just be to do with the camera image we've got going on here. So we can't see from different aspects what the actual full models look like. But they look good. They look really demonified, particularly the one on the left. I like the way that sort of the helmet's sort of turned into a big maw there. The one on the right, I do like the way what's going on with the shin guards. Shin? I suppose that they stopped being shins a long time ago. The way like the armor's like developed its own faces and whatnot. That's really, really nice. And yeah, the way the armor's sort of like twisting and buckling like the demon inside's like taking over not just the Space Marine, but the armor is cased as well. Really good. But my favouriteest one of the Chaos is the Obliterators. They look nice. They're just hulking meat machines that are just packed with firepower. Look really, really good. Whereas opposed to the old Obliterators, they look like someone had poured flesh into a suit of armour and just nailed a load of guns in it. These guys look like it's the opposite way around. I particularly like the way on the guy on the right, not the right, yeah, the right, is with his outstretched arm, the one with the bolters on it, the piston going into his flesh, it gives off that feel, like underneath all that flesh, there's like a robotic skeleton, sort of like a Terminator style skeleton. So this guy is basically not flesh that's had stuff grafted onto it. He's like metal that's had flesh grafted onto it, that's had armour bolted onto that. It looks really, really good. Just the big, muscle-bound nature of them really makes them quite imposing. And, you know, the guns look pretty tasty as well. Sort of the way the flesh melts into them. Really, really nice. I really can't wait to see them down the Games Workshop, because I'm hoping that'll happen when this box set drops. Someone will, down there, will build and paint them up, so I can just go and look at them myself. Really, really nice. And now, on to the Vanguard Space Marines. Now, I was lukewarm on these from the teaser images we got of the Librarian and the few dudes, but I've got to say I'm warming slightly to some of them, more some than others. From the picture we see here, we've got the crazy jump pack guys, and I think personally they look a bit silly. I just think that gun's too big. It's too big, and I don't understand why I don't understand why. I know the entire Space Marine box set's meant to be like clandestine operations, sort of like stealth, hit and run tactics, guerrilla warfare, and obviously you need fast moving units like a pack heavy firepower. Yes, I can understand that, but there is something about the position and the way these guys are posed and the size of that gun. I just don't think it works. I think the moment one of those guys pulls a trigger on that gun, he's going to go flying in the opposite direction. So, like if you're sitting on a chair and you use a fire extinguisher, you just go fly back in the opposite direction. I just get that feel from these guys. They look a little bit ridiculous. It's not a win as far as I'm concerned for that particular model, but then again, I'm not a Space Marine player. This might be ticking a lot of other people's boxes and not my own. However, the regular guys though, these guys are ticking my boxes just because the amount of detail that's going on in them. They've got a lot of stuff going on, from the pouches, the knives, the little emblazoned sort of sigils and whatnot. The poses are really, really good. The armor looks nice. I love that guy who's just popping a smoke grenade. It's really, really, really good. I mean, I think we've got a close-up image of one of him here. I think this guy's like a sergeant or something, but that face mask is really tight. I love it. The face mask, the Auspex, the bolter. He's got 2 knives instead of 1, just in case he loses his bolter and he needs 2 knives to kill things twice as quick. He's got little like knife sort of like honor there, so it might make him as a close combat specialist. The panel on his chest piece, don't know what that is. It's like a sort of like a scanner or some kind of device there. And the extra pouches and webbing these guys have got on their armor I think it really makes them stand apart from regular Primaris Space Marines, and that's exactly what you want for this kind of strike force. You want it to stand on its own 2 feet and be its own unique thing. Now, apparently in this particular box set, we're going to get, obviously, 2 individual books for the Vanguard Space Marines and the Demonkin, the Chaos Forces, which will be their own standalone codexes and give background into the lore and whatnot. But I think we're also going to get a campaign book. Well, I say think. I don't think, I know, because it's right there. Campaign book telling you of the lore and what's going on with these 2 forces clashing. From the blurb, I believe it's a planet that's, when the Great Rift happened, like rolled into the warp, and the Chaos Forces used this opportunity to change the Forge world there into a demonic sort of flesh forge, and now it's popped back into the Vigilant system, or it's been activated properly in the Vigilant system. Space Marines have got to go in and take it out, or stop it, shut it down, because they can't save it because it's too far gone, but they can't allow it to be there and just let Chaos pump these abominations into the Vigilant system, disrupting the war effort. So I think that's the short story behind that. But I think this particular campaign book will give you a chance to fight against Orcs Aldari, like it says in the blurb there, because obviously these forces might be clashing with them as well. I don't think Gene Steel Cull have made it to a Flesh Forge, but Orcs and Eldari might have. So, there you go. Not just Chaos and Space Marines, you're getting Orcs and Eldari thrown into the mix as well. Now, it would be remiss of me to talk about this box set without talking about the 2 special characters in there. Now, I know we've covered the Sorcerer before, and he looks really good, but I've not really talked about the leader of the Strike Force, the Astartes Strike Force. And he is what's his name? Captain Archeran. I think I'm saying that right. Captain Archeran, Captain Archieran? Captain Archie. Yes, Captain Archie. He looks really nice. He's got that sort of war hero kind of pose and vibe going on there. The way he's got like scar going down the right. Well, his right, my left. Yeah, his right, my left side of his face covered with like obviously the cybernetic enhancements there. He's got the honors hanging from his belt. He's got all the crazy detail of his cloak. That gun looks really nice. The way it's got like the marksman honor on top of there. And this guy looks really, really good. Like I said, normally not one for Space Marines, certainly not one for the new Primaris, but this guy, yeah, he'll turn heads. Really, really nice. Just, I think I think they are learning to put their new lines of Space Marines in more dynamic poses, that kind of thing. When they certainly show them off these teaser trailers anyway, just to make them stand out a bit more. Just every time I think they do one, they've got to make it slightly more different from the previous batch. Otherwise, I think they just had a problem of all these Primaris Space Marines just blending into one another, because it certainly felt that way to me from an outsider looking in. But they are certainly hitting it out of the park with this one. Captain Archie here would be a great addition to any Primaris Space Marine army, and as well as the Sorcerer will be a great addition to any Black Legion or Chaos Space Marine army. So, as far as I'm concerned, this box set, Shadowspear, it's going to be a win for both sides. I can see people on eBay people snapping up this box set, taking what they want to put in the rest on eBay. People are going to be very happy with this box set. I reckon one of my friends, I think he might be thinking about buying the box set. I'm not too sure. I bet he'd be tempted just to get his hands on some of these, but we'll see. As far as winners and losers go, this box set, because obviously we've got our winners and losers, because this is the internet. The winners for me, hands down, without a shadow of doubt, are the Obliterators. The old sculpt thrown out the window. If that's rubbish, you don't care about that anymore. Now we've got these new flesh machines just packed full of weaponry. And they look chunky and they look great. The losers, I've got to say, are those jump primary space marines with the huge guns. I think the huge gun really let them down on that one. If that barrel wasn't so long, they might have got away with it. Might have done, but nah, for me, they look, the second they pull that, they look to me like the second they pull that trigger, they're going to go flying in the other direction, and it just looks a bit silly. But, you know, what do I know? I'm not a Primaris player. I'm sure some people love the look of these things. But for me, nah, just a little bit too silly. But yeah, that's it. Finally, we've got a good look at everything coming inside the Shadowspear box set. The countdown timer is almost over. I'm sure Abaddon the Despoiler is right around the corner. And I personally can't wait to get a good look at the top man to see what GW have done with him, how they've remade him, brought him into the modern era with a new, fresh line of models. And, well, Chaos players have been waiting for it for a long time, and their patience is about to be rewarded. But that's it for today, guys. I will catch you all next time. See you later.